Hi, it's Coach Charlotte, and this video is all about the top sustainable dieting tips. So let's dive in. So let me talk to you about day to day. I'm sure that when you're super busy, the day just flies and you've eaten your prepared meals or you've grabbed something on the go that was a healthy option or something from a packed lunch and you've been all good. But when we're super bored and we're not doing much, then what tends to happen is we tend to busy ourselves, opening the fridge, putting our hands in the biscuit tin, and all of a sudden we start eating things that maybe aren't going to help us on our health and fitness journey. So my tip number one is about planning. So it's super important to make sure that you are planning week to week. And you can be as vigorous or as loose as you want. I tend to be quite strict in the planning phases, and that just means that our fridge and our cupboards are stocked with foods that are going to fuel us, going to keep us in line with our health and fitness goals, but also are going to be satisfying and varied throughout our week. So my tip to you is to have a think and sit down with the people that you live with and talk about what you are all doing that week. If it's just yourself, make sure you get your planner out and your work calendar as well and start to have a think about the structure in your day. What days are you coming home late? What days have you got to be up super early and on the go? What days are you going to be working through your lunch break? What days are you going to be working out and maybe need something when you come home from work and go straight to your workout? So we're trying to plan when our bodies are going to need bigger meals, when our bodies are going to need snacks, and when our bodies are going to need certain types of food just to pick us up or to replenish our carb stores, for example. So planning your week on a piece of paper, day to day, including the weekend, is super important. And then from that information, you can then start looking through some recipe books or think of the things that you really like to eat and start planning those in day to day and making sure that, for example, your partner could make a meal on a dinner the night before. You need the other portion for your lunch. And see if you can work things out like that. If you cook a bigger dinner, then you can have one of those portions for dinner the next day or for lunch the next day. And start to think about being flexible with your meals and what things that you can buy in bulk that are going to support you for the rest of that week. So have a think about it like that. Also make sure that if you know there are things, which I know I love chocolate, so I try not to buy too much chocolate in. Don't get me wrong, I do have a bit of chocolate every now and again. But the key is to make sure that if you know crisps, for example, are your weakness, do not buy a multi-pack of crisps and pop them in that cupboard that never gets opened, because let's face it, it's gonna get opened when we get hungry. So make sure that you're setting yourself up to achieve and get the success that you want rather than setting yourself up to fail. Tip number two, going out for food. So I know we need to go out, we need to socialize with our family and our friends, and I still go out and have food out as well. So we need to be having a chat about how we can ensure that we still succeed in our health and fitness goals, but can still do those social events as well. So my tips to you in relation to going out for food is to try to adopt a flexible eating schedule on that day. So what I would say to you there is reduce the amount of calories in the meal, so having small, lighter meals earlier on in the day to actually save those calories for the evening meal. Or if you're going out for lunch, then having a smaller earlier meal and a smaller later meal to then sort of counterbalance that bigger meal. So that's one thing that you can do. My next thing is to have a look at the menu online prior to actually going out for the meal, because what tends to happen when you get to the restaurant is you open the menu and you're super hungry and you're like, I'm gonna have that starter, that main, I'm gonna have a side, I'm gonna have that dessert, there's specials, and you all get really excited and you start ordering loads of food. So if you look at the menu prior to going there, you're going to be looking at that menu with in relation to what you normally have on your plate. So we're looking for a balanced meal that has protein, carbohydrates, fats, some vegetables, maybe a salad, depending on what, when or where you're eating. So trying to really think about that balance. And then thinking about, where is it that you can have that little treat? Is it that you're going to treat yourself to a dessert, or is it that you're going to have some olives or a little bit of meat to start or something like that? Making sure that you're not going to go all out when you get there, and in your mind you've already told yourself what you're going to have, so you're not going to disappoint yourself when you get to that restaurant. So really trying to plan that eating out event to make sure that you can still enjoy yourself and let your hair down, but that it doesn't spiral into the next couple of days, and also that you still feel that you are not going to be pulling back on your sustainable healthy lifestyle or getting those weight loss goals that you hope to achieve. Tip number 3, keep your meals high in protein. So why should you be keeping your meals high in protein? Well, protein makes you feel fuller for longer. And the reason being is it takes longer for your body to digest protein than it does any other fuel source. So when you're bulking up on that protein in your meals, or having that as a big portion of your meals, it will make you feel fuller for longer. What I also say to my clients is to focus on stocking up on vegetables as well on your plate as well. So making sure that at least half of your plate are vegetables. Vegetables are jam-packed with nutrients, so they will make you feel fuller and rejuvenated, and they will also fuel you throughout your day. And let's also not forget that as snacks, you can be using vegetables and fruits as snacks as well, because they are going to be making you feel a lot more energetic. Fruits are fantastic to bulking up that sugar intake and just giving you a bit of a jerk of energy that you might need around 3 p.m. in your day. And vegetables are a great source because they will also make you feel full as well. So for example, you could take broccoli, steamed broccoli, in a little Tupperware pot as a snack in your day. But these are things that you might not think of right now, but actually when you start doing them, it just becomes the norm. Tip number 4, NEAT. Now, what does NEAT stand for? It stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And what that is you moving, being active, dancing throughout your day that basically is not vigorous activity in the gym. When you are moving more and you're active throughout the day, you're going to be burning more calories. And also your metabolic rate is going to be way more efficient as well. So we want to be increasing our exercise throughout the day, not only in the gym, but also just by moving more and being more active in the day. So how can we be more active in the day? I have a Fitbit, so some of you might want to get a Fitbit. You might want to challenge yourself and actually have it down on your watch. How many steps roughly are you doing every day? Or what I can suggest to you is, instead of sitting down at your lunch break, taking an active lunch and maybe going for a walk. If you're working from home, take your dog out for a walk or go into the local woods or fields. Or you could, if you work in a city, walk to another station, or get off the train when you're commuting one stop early and then walk into your office from that station that is one stop away from your office. These small things that you can be doing every single day are going to be detrimental to you getting great results. So maybe suggesting a standing up meeting or an active meeting and being that leader in the health and fitness world within your workplace will stand you in good stead and allow other people to encourage you to achieve your goals and also inspire them to be more active throughout their day too. Tip number 5 is sleep. Now, I have talked about sleep on numerous occasions before, but it is super important. If we're not getting enough sleep, we are a fraction of our best self. So making sure that you're getting that average of between 6 to 8 hours sleep is super important, and make sure you check out my video on all about how we can improve your sleep and our top tips. Tip number 6. Why? Look at that item that is taking your fancy and ask yourself, is it worth it? Because let's face it, nothing tastes as good as looking and feeling good feels. Remember your why and your reasoning for starting on this health and fitness journey and wanting to lead a sustainable life. And that should be your motivation and your driving force to achieve. Okay, so they're my tips to achieving a sustainable lifestyle. And the key there is balance. And it's all about setting yourself up to succeed and really trying to remember that why. Drill down as to what you really want. Be specific and really push towards why you want to achieve that health and fitness goal. And then taking small steps initially, which are all going to add up into huge steps, which are going to help get you to that sustainable lifestyle that you've been looking for such a long time.